Hey guys, this is Cody, Bigfoot Gaming, coming at you with a list. Uh, this is a list, a few things I've learned that I wish somebody would have told me when I started recording YouTube videos. Um, just odds and ends things I've picked up, mistakes I've made. This is not a complete list. There's things I've forgotten. There's things that I could probably explain better. I just kind of sat down and started typing. This is the top 5 or 6 guidelines. Not really guidelines, just things to help with. The first thing I learned was don't rely on your audience to tell you what you are doing or how you are doing it or what needs to be fixed. I found that most people they either will quit watching or they'll just watch a little bit and then stop, never to return again. Most people they won't say a thing, no likes, no subscribes, no constructive feedback. The number one thing I would say would be to find yourself a friend or a group online that you can share your video and they can give you constructive feedback. The second thing would be to practice. Go ahead and record an episode. Go through the steps editing it, make it the best you think you can make it, then post it on YouTube. I post it privately. I can then watch it myself um, because watching it on through your editing software or on your computer is going to be different than watching it on a phone or a TV. And the sound's going to be different. It might look a little different. Uh, that's one of the big things is seeing how it's going to, on the different devices, how it's going to look. This is where having a group or friends, they're all going to be watching on something different. They can tell you, hey, on my device, it might sound great to you when you're editing it, but hey, they might say, hey, I can't hear you. All I can hear is the gameplay. I can't hear what you're saying. Okay? You don't have to post it publicly. You can go back, fix it, try it again. Don't be afraid to do that multiple times. So this list, it's all intertwined. Go back and forth. Everything kind of leads into everything else. Um, I'm getting to where a lot of times if I'm doing something new, either a new game or I'm trying something new as far as editing or recording, I'll record multiple short segments, just trying different things, load them up onto my channel privately, check them out. Send them to I got one friend I send almost every video to. Uh, Shout out to Piva Plays. Uh, he will watch it, tell me what he thinks. And at the beginning, I didn't have a whole lot of that to go off of. I was just winging it. Everybody has their own opinion, and when it comes down to it, it's your video. But if you want people to enjoy it, you have to take their opinions into consideration. Uh, Third thing is don't be afraid to start over. At the moment, I record gameplay, let's play type stuff. I plan on going into actual recording videos, uh, doing outdoor stuff. I make fishing lures and stuff, and take my kids. We go fishing, hunting, all that fun stuff. I just do the let's plays and stuff. I wanted to learn essentially the editing software. What's my capabilities? What's my computer's capabilities? Which we'll get further into that later. But I can't tell you how many times recording some gameplay, uh, something just doesn't feel right. Either the dialogue's kind of off, you say something wrong, the flow's wrong, you forget to mention something, or you say something you don't want to. My kids come home off the bus, and it's just mass chaos for the first 5 or 10 minutes while they're all getting snacks. I record in the living room. So, I mean, sometimes you just got to stop, let it play through. You can go back and you can edit that out. You can take that out. You can cut it out. if you want to. If you don't want to, you want people to see your chaos, hear your mistakes. Awesome. Whatever works for you. But sometimes you just have to stop. Sometimes I will turn the recording off and just start completely from scratch. Sometimes I'll just pause. I'll talk to myself while I'm recording, say, oh, man, I messed that up. I'll stop. Tell myself, hey, edit a few minutes out, cut that, bleep this. I can go through playing the games. I'll stop so that way my screen's not changing. I might pause. So that way I have somewhere where I can pause and unpause. I can cut that out. You're not gonna notice. It's not gonna be as noticeable in the video. So if you're recording actual video of yourself, you might stop and kind of try to keep the background from changing. Sometimes you stop, redo the whole thing. Sometimes you just, like I said, leave yourself a note. Give myself a moment to just kind of gather my thoughts, and get back up again, start again. The fourth thing is play with your software and your settings. You can watch all the tutorials you want, but not everyone's settings will be perfect for you. Your hardware is different. The way you're recording is different. I mean, everybody's different. Everybody likes things a certain way. So watch the tutorials. Use them as kind of like a guideline. Be willing to play with things, change things, and use them as a starting point. You might get lucky and they might work perfect for you, or they might have to tweak them a bit or scrap them and try something completely different. This kind of goes hand in hand with practice. Record a video, look at it. If that doesn't work, adjust your settings, record another video, look at it. Next thing, don't be scared to try something new. I watch a lot of other YouTubers that are playing games, that are playing similar games to me, different games than me. And if they see something I like, I'll try to figure out how they done it. Certain editing or something they did during the game. I might like the way they faded or how they added a short little segment of the most action-packed part of the game at the beginning of the video. Hey, get your attention. I might go back and I try to generate something identical or close to the same thing, just to kind of help my views out. One of my big issues when I started all of this was my voice volume compared to the game playing volume. I was using OBS, and I didn't realize you could record your gameplay and your voice audio on separate tracks, so that way you can adjust and change and edit, do things. It's not going to affect the other one. So my first videos, most of my videos are still terrible, but you couldn't hardly hear me, and I couldn't figure it out. So I'd trying my settings differently. Finally, I figured out that, hey, you can record this separately, and that, in my opinion, things have jumped way up there, way better. I just Googled my issue, and I'll pop the YouTube video on how to record on the separate tracks. And away we went. Background noise, things like that. Wind volume. I've learned and played with a bunch of the settings and watched YouTube and just kind of got used to trying different things. I try to do something different, something better on every video, if I can. It kind of depends on where the video's going. Sometimes I get in a rush and I don't put as much effort into it. I got other things going on. I try to keep pumping out semi-regular content. sometimes, I work 40, 50, 60, 80 hours a week, sometimes 100 hours a week. I don't always get the opportunity to just post. Um, Sometimes I just bang out something real quick, and you try to get in the, or I try to get in the habit of doing the same things. I have a minimum quality that I try to stick with, and I'm trying to up that all the time. But learn little tips and tricks. Oh yeah, I done this. It can, as often as I post, sometimes it can be hard to remember exactly what you did or how you did it. Sometimes I got to go back and rewatch the video. So I've got a long list of saved videos on one of my YouTube channels that I use kind of as a personal deal where I'm watching other YouTubers. Where am I at my list here? Alrighty, I kind of consider this one as a 5B. So find your equipment's limit. What I mean by this is the laptop that I use for everything. It's a Dell G15, I think. It's got a Ryzen 7 5000 series. Got a 3060 and 16 gigabytes of RAM. I use OBS to record all of my gameplay, and I use most of the time I'm using DaVinci Resolve 18 for my editing. I would use DaVinci Resolve for all of my editing, but sometimes some of the effects I try to do, even it's something as simple as adding an animated title or animated words going across the screen, my computer would crash. I believe it's caused by only having 16 gigs of RAM, but at the moment I can't afford to upgrade it. I plan to in the near future. Um, for a lot of that stuff, I found a website called Canva, Canva. I do most of my, like titles when they're popping up the screen, or you do little short clips where you might want to do a little bit of editing. I use Canva, and I really like it. It's fairly simple to use. For things like a watermark and my thumbnails, pictures, any kind of photo editing, I use a website called Pixlr E version. Both of these websites are capable of doing things beyond my imagination. That being said, for any of the effects of the video itself, like changing colors, etc., I have found myself using Clipchamp video editor that came on my Windows 11 computer. I don't do that kind of editing much. My son created a YouTube channel for him. Just playtime with J-Rod, and he was dancing in our living room, which house is a mess. My wife was pissed, but I wanted to have like different colors flashing and changing. This is when I found out that my computer wasn't capable of doing all the editing stuff, all that fun stuff. So that's when I ended up finding the Clipchamp, and I know DaVinci Resolve is leaps and bounds way more capable, but my computer won't handle it. On the flip side of that, my computer plays games on high or epic settings without skipping a beat. They look gorgeous. OBS is not a fan. I have to turn down my settings in my games, and I might be able to adjust my settings in OBS so that way it will take it better. But I haven't gotten that far into it. I changed my settings to I was playing Red Dead Redemption 2, trying to record a series from the start. Literally recorded like 5 hours of gameplay. Was going to make 3 or 4 videos out of it, and then next day I sat down, started editing the first episode, and it just looked terrible. Like skipping, pausing. It was terrible. Turn the settings down to medium, the graphic settings down to medium, and working great. but I ended up having to scrap those whole 5 hours of video because it looked terrible. That being said, I was going to restart the series, start from scratch again, and I just didn't have the heart to do it. Really? So I've been kind of recording some random videos, just doing cowboy stuff. I'm constantly trying to learn and adjust the way I record and edit, and try to do everything to the best of my abilities. Like I said, obviously, I'm not a YouTube guru. I'm new to this. Right now, I think I have a whole 15 followers. I'm lucky to get 5 to 10 views a video. If I get 10, I'm just absolutely ecstatic. Just know that if you need someone to look at your YouTube video, give you an honest opinion, like I said, I am no professional. I'm learning this as I go. But reach out and let me know. I am still struggling with getting feedback, and I'm willing to help anyone that I can. I think that's about it for now. That's my list for now. If you like what you see or want to see more, like to see how I go about recording and editing things, give me a shout out. If you like this video, hit the like and subscribe button. I could use all the subscriptions and likes and comments that I could get. I know this is probably terrible recording, and I'll find out more as I'm editing it. But thanks for watching, guys, and hopefully you'll be seeing more of me.